Hi, and welcome to Paper Route Scrapbooking. I'm Nadine, and today I'm playing along with Ginger over on Ginger's Corner and some of her friends in a YouTube hop called All About That Base, where we talk about base pages. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you are here from Ginger's YouTube hop, welcome. I'm happy to have you. And I am excited to use another one of my base pages. This one is a good grid layout, which is a great way to use up some of those scraps to make your base pages. This background paper was just a loose one I had in my rainbow stash, and I matched it up with these little papers that I had gotten from a crop, I guess, a retreat called the Great Canadian Scrapbook Carnival a few years back when we did the theme was Tea Party, and so they gave us these, I think they were 6x6 papers, and I did a couple of layouts with them, and then I had a few leftovers, so I made a couple of base pages. This is one of them. A good grid layout is always a fun go-to when you're just putting papers together. And yeah, so let's see what I can do. This also came with that same bundle of things that we got from that retreat, so I put that on here as well. And then when I was going through my 4x6 pre-printed photos from before I got my photo printer and picking photos, I had these coffee house pictures from a trip we took, and we were in Portland, and we had gone to this really I don't know what you would call it, like funky, I guess, coffee house called Rimsky? What's it called? Rimsky Korsa Coffee House. And it is named after the Russian composer Nikolai Rimsky-Korsakov, and it operates out of the former living room of an allegedly haunted house built in 1902. So this is in Portland. It was quite a fun experience. There was a lady there performing on the piano live. Well, everybody, it was a very eclectic little place. Everybody sat around enjoying their coffees and teas and desserts. Yeah, it was kind of neat. So this is, these are the photos that I chose to go with this one. I think this is going to come together fairly quickly because a lot of the work is done for me. This big embellishment really takes care of a lot of the embellishing that's going to happen. I do have this. This was a 4x6 photo, but it was kind of backlit, and there wasn't a lot I could do with it. It had like a window and a reflection in it. I was, you know, just snapping photos, but I really liked this sign that they had. And so I cut that part out of the photo, and I'm going to try to incorporate on my layout somewhere, somehow. Let's see what else. I have my little box of goodies from my box of base pages, and I pulled a few things out that I thought could potentially go on this layout. It was very musical, so I have this, and this from a different collection, but I thought maybe some of those things could go in. There is this coffee cup, but it doesn't really match with anything else, so we'll see what else comes together. And I have this little acrylic tag that doesn't really have a home. And then I had two fussy cut teapots left over from the scraps of this, whatever's left of here. And I pulled out these arrows, although in the day layout, I'm not sure how well they match. I guess they do match pretty well with my coffee cup there, so maybe I'll put some of those on there. I also have my mishmash of enamel dots, and then I also pulled these enamel dots in the hopes of taking this blue color kind of around the layout a little bit more. And I also grabbed some musical wood pieces because I thought that would go nicely on here. And I grabbed a few tickets that I thought could potentially go on here, but they don't necessarily have to. So that's what I grabbed for embellishing. And then I grabbed a couple of options for my titling, and I think I'm just going to use both of them because I pulled the letters that I need, and it looks like it's going to work out if I use both of those. So let's get started. I'll start putting some of the photos down first. And we will start that way. So the thing that I love about these base pages is that a lot of the thinking is already done for me in terms of putting together a page. It's really quick and simple then to pull out the base page and just start working with it with whatever photos you have. And so in this case, I tend to be a pretty themed scrapbooker, and so that sometimes is limiting and sometimes is very freeing, but in this case I feel like it was kismet. There was like a lot of the layouts that I had in there I knew I had photos for, so that was kind of fun. And then this one, so I had 6 squares on my grid and I had 6 photos, but again, like I said, this one was not a great photo, and so I just cut out the one tiny thing that I thought I wanted from it, and I think I'm just going to use this as like, I'm going to build a pocket maybe down here and then tuck my journaling into it. So I'm going to take a scrap from my leftovers, and I am going to measure this little mini photo, or this little piece of the photo. It is about 1 inch, and so I'm going to cut about 1.25 inches, maybe a little bit more, off of this piece of scrap paper. And I'm going to ink around the edges. And then I am going to put that on there. And then I'm just going to make it so that it's a kind of like a pocket, but I'm not going to put it all the way to the bottom of that square. I'm just going to put it as like a strip across. This is not straight. Let me try that again. There we go, that's better. Okay, now I'm going to put some adhesive, maybe not across the top. Maybe I'll take the top piece off so that when it's over that photo, it's not going to make a big mess of it. Okay. And then I'm just going to tuck it so that you can still see all the journaling and everything, but I want it at a little bit of an angle. There we go. So yeah, this was a place that we went after we went to a Portland Trailblazers game, and we went to grab some dessert at the coffee house. It was kind of cute. It was in a like an older neighborhood, not in the touristy kind of areas, but it was fun. Okay, so I think I want one of these little teapots maybe down here and maybe one up here. I'm thinking maybe a piece of this to stamp my date on. So then I have it here, here, and here. Let me just ink around the edges. I used Vintage Photo Distress ink for this layout, it looks like. So that's what I've been continuing on with. Let me stamp the date on here and then I'll cut the paper down. How about that? Maybe makes more sense. There we go. And it's just like a little tab, a date tab that can go right up there. So I have my journaling and my photos and my date. Now I just need my title on here. Okay, so for my title, I didn't have enough ease to do coffee house with this set of stickers. So my title is just going to be coffee house. This is really sticky, so I'm going to try not to stick it on the photo until until I'm ready. Until I'm ready to really stick it down. This I was going to put up here somewhere. And then for my other, for coffee, I was going to go with this lighter pink. I sure have been finding interesting things to use my pink on, though, lately. I used pink on a Alcatraz layout, too. Who knew, hey? Okay, so I think, yeah. Okay, so I'm just gonna put those down, I think, straighten them out a little bit, and try to scooch them to the right as much as possible so that they don't cover up too much of my photo. Okay, so we have photos titled journaling. Got a couple little teapots on there. Let's see what else we got. We've got this little radio piece. Maybe I'll cut it down a little bit better. This is a little radio. And then I have these little music notes that I kind of like as well. Cruisin' doesn't really fit, so I'm going to take that one out. Hipster, this was kind of a hipster-ish type place, so maybe something like that. And then I do like these music notes too. Okay, and then how about these tickets? I don't really love adding more pink, so I'm going to skip those. This I feel like is too different of a color, so I think I'm going to skip that as well. What else did I pick out? I also have these arrows. I feel like I could get like one in each little spot. There we go. And then I think I have enough of these to put one treble clef in each spot. I don't know if I'm going to want more than that. I might just stop there. I think I will. Okay, so I put an arrow and a little piece in each one, and then one of these treble clefs in each one to represent that there was music playing. And I think that's it. I popped the teapots up on some foam tape, and yeah, that's about it. The little arrow pieces. Yeah. So I'm just going to go ahead with the blue enamel shapes because I kind of want that to be carried around. I don't feel like there's any other blue in this layout besides in that teacup, so I'm just going to use that as my sprinkly bits so that it can be sort of like, you know, carried around the layout and not just in that one spot. Okay, so there we have it. And I got all my enamel dots on there, and I think that's it for this layout. So thank you so much for hanging out with me today. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below, and I'll be happy to get back to you as soon as I can. And I hope you're enjoying this series as much as I am. Thank you, Ginger, for the motivation. And yeah, if you want to follow along with the collaborative playlist, I will have that linked below, as well as all of the other people who are participating in this YouTube hop. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today. Have a great day, everyone. Bye for now.